I'm very sorry. I promised to volunteer for the implant, and then I had a night to sleep about it, and I think now I'm gonna chickening out. I'm actually not going to talk about design. I'm going to talk about prototyping, which is part of the design process, and I want to talk about why it's so difficult to actually build good IoT devices and services. A while ago, we started to have this little gadget here. We call it Tinker Cup. And Tinker Cup is made for people to tinker, of course. And it's our first Internet of Things little gadget that we built as an agency. And it works like you slap it onto your cup, and it measures the temperature of your cup, so what you drink. If it's hot, it's likely to be coffee when you work in an agency. And it also measures the tilt. So we know how many sips you take. And we have an average of the liquid that you have in your mouth, and so we can estimate how long you take, how many sips you take to actually finish that cup. We built a website, and the website will tell you how many cups of coffee you had, or maybe tea, and will give you an average of all Tinker Cup users. So what's the average of coffees drunk for all users? And this is just something we did. It's a little gadget. But what we learned throughout the process is that when you prototype Internet of Things applications, it's very different from traditional prototyping. And who knows what this is? It's the prototype of the mouse. It's the first computer mouse done in the 1960s. It's a hardware prototype, and it's very different from what we do, because we still have the thing, we have the object itself, and it has thing-based functions. So a cup can hold liquids, a mouse, can give you the position of your hand, and it's physical and it's local. But on top of that, you add a layer of IT-based services when we talk Internet of Things, and these services are digital, so you take the data and you do something with the data. And it's global. You can access your thing from all over the world. So you can get the data from your cup. Cup may be in Berlin, but I can get data from here or from wherever I am. And that's a very different concept to what we are used to when we build objects. This is an estimate from Cisco. 50 billion objects connected to the network. In the year 2020, that's in 5 years, so it's not really the far, far future. And right now we have an average 3.5 connected devices per person. So that's your laptop, it's your smartphone, it's your tablet maybe, and like half of a watch. If we scale that up to the year 2020, we are on average, and this is worldwide average, this is not Europe, it's not America. It's an average of 6.5 connected devices. And this is a car, maybe, and it's maybe your smart light bulb, it's a console, all these things. And just for fun, I counted what I have in the year 2015. And I have 12 connected objects. I have a couple of smart light bulbs, I have a gaming console, I have a fitness tracker, I have a Chromecast, I have a wireless printer, obviously I have a smartwatch, and a couple of computers. And me, yesterday I would have gotten a chip, which I haven't gotten yet. So it would have been 13. So let's take a look at the light bulb, which I have. So it's a Kickstart-funded project. It's called Livix. And you have the object that's physical. You screw it into your socket. And then you can change the color of your light. You can have a dimmer, so you don't have to build the dimmer into your wall, but you have it in your bulb. And then you have an app, and the app lets you control the bulb. The bulb is connected to your local Wi-Fi. It knows when I am entering, if I have a smartphone with me, I know when I approach the light bulb, so when I come home, the light goes on. I can set it to party mode, so it actually reads the music and then gives me like different lights, fancy colors. Which I like. My personal favorite is the holiday mode. So I'm leaving, and my light will turn on randomly. So it seems that somebody's home, although I'm not. But what you see here, so you have a physical object, and then you have this range of services that you can do just by being able to control the bulb, get data from the bulb, and so forth. We've seen a lot of, in our agency, we've seen a lot of traditional manufacturers who are very good at building things, moving into the sector of actually trying to find services that they can wrap around their product. And this is a very successful example. You all know about it. It's Drive Now. And it's a merger between BMW and Sixt. Sixt is good at renting out cars for longer periods of time, not so good at renting out cars for just minutes or hours. And BMW, of course, is excellent at building cars, but has no idea of what does renting mean. And together they could form the service that adds a value to a user who just needs a car at transport right now, doesn't own a car, maybe lives in a big city like I do. I use this a lot. It's also nice driving the Mini and the BMW, of course. But it's a huge opportunity to earn, of course, more money, to have people experience the car before they buy it, and so forth. So when we talk about IoT, we actually talk about, we've talked about smart home. We've seen a lot of applications so far that do something around the smart home. IoT is a smart city, of course. It's Industry 4.0, yeah? You have process optimization, efficient collaboration, and a screwed up font. Personal health is very big, fitness tracker and so forth. Mobility, you have car-to-car communication, you have a new definition of mobility, and all these things. So it's a huge subject. Why now is prototyping for the IoT so difficult? And it's difficult because theoretically you have end-to-end objects or services that you can connect. So you can have your car talking to the gas station asking for the price and giving you a recommendation. You can have your dog's collar talking to your smartwatch, giving you the position of your dog if it tends to run away. You may have a cereal box that warns you if you're allergic to nuts, and your app may tell you don't eat this because you may get serious problems. You may have a fitness tracker that talks to your insurance company, whether you want it or not. You have the public trash bin maybe that talks to your city council and says, hey, empty me. You have the industrial warehouse that talks to the manufacturers and has restocking of components. And so you have all these things, these options, but how do you know which is the right one for you, for your company, for your city maybe? What needs do I address? What needs can I address? What is the technology? So what's the hardware? What's the hardware supposed to be? And what's the software supposed to be? What's with security issues and so forth? And of course you have the business layer, very important. So how do you earn money with that? How do you make it valuable? And this is the most important slide here. And this is the message that I want to send you. Unless like before, you prototype hardware, you have the software prototype, and maybe you have a business model that you iterate. If we're talking IoT, it means you iterate all of these things at the same time, and they will impact each other. So if your business model changes, then your hardware may have different requirements. And if your user needs change, then that may have an impact on your business model. And if you don't do that at the same time, you will end up with a business model that doesn't work for your product because you will not be able to earn enough money with maybe selling hardware. If your user needs change, then your business model will not work because they will not want to pay for this. And it's a tricky thing. So this is really, it's not easy to iterate through all these different steps on these different layers and then come up with good strategies and concepts or product and services. Tricky thing. I want to give you a couple of examples from new business models which actually found a good solution to doing this. It's pretty scary. When I looked for good examples for these models, I always ended up with Amazon. It's not intentional, it's just they have a good examples for new business models. This is called the physical freemium model, and they don't earn money by selling the sticks. So you put the stick into your TV, it makes your TV smart, and you can access Amazon Prime. That's the trick. So they're not earning money by selling the hardware, they're earning money by giving you access to Amazon Prime. And once you like Amazon Prime, you will order more through that channel, and that's how they earn money. So the physical thing is for free, but they earn money by selling you the service. Physical freemium again, I quite like this. The button is completely for free, so you don't even have to pay anything. When you're running out of washing powder, you press the button, and that's it. And then you get a delivery from Amazon, and they will give you washing powder. That brand of washing powder, not just any brand. That's why they give away the button for free, of course. But then, whenever you press it, you will get your new washing powder. Object self-service. This is a coffee machine. You can buy it. Again, it's hooked up to Amazon. And the coffee machine will restack beans when you run out of beans. So there's not even a button anymore that you need to push. It's automatically reordering, restocking the beans in your coffee machine. Last but not least, my favorite, when we talk to car manufacturers, and the car used to be something that you buy, and then you have it unchanged for the entire lifetime of your car, or maybe you sell it, but it won't change much. This is an outdated model. We can already have access, for example, to the machine, to the engine in the car, and maybe you want to have a fun weekend trip, and you'll just upgrade the horsepowers in your car. So from your mere 334 in your Tesla, you may upgrade to 500 PS. You may want to have access to more music, so you get the music add-on for that trip, or you want to have movies that you can access. Maybe you want to change the color of your car, maybe that is just from the material science possible, and then you can just change from your black to silver. So even in the classical objects that we know do not change much, we will see all these changes that are available through having these objects connected to the internet and being able to manipulate them basically on the fly. We've seen Alan Kay cited quite a lot, so the best way to predict the future is to invent it. I'd say the best way to predict the future is to prototype it first. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So what is the coolest thing or process you have designed so far, which you cannot talk about?
Yeah, that's, let me think, the coolest. Well, there's one I can talk about. We've designed a radio, which is not so difficult in itself, but it's a radio for crisis regions.
Oh yeah,
so
I saw this. The little black box.
The little black box. And the smart thing about it, it connects to a satellite, so you have the people who make the program in a safe region, and you can spread the news through this little box, which connects to the satellite, and then spreads via FM, so you can have the signal on your smartphone, for example, and then get access to the news. That's a project I'm allowed to talk about, which I like a lot. And then we can hook up solar cells, and you can, connect the USB drive and these things.
But it's not allowed to use here in Germany?
No.
Okay, well, in distressed regions, there's maybe distressed laws, and then that can apply. But I liked also that the cooling thing is also on the outside.
Yeah, it's cooling, it's rugged, so you can basically hide it away, because people may want to come and destroy it, because you are spreading information that they don't want you to spread.
So we can use our little pirate radio on our island. We are not really in a...
Yes,
okay, we have to talk about it. Okay, you can stay on stage for the chipping session.
Yeah, as I said before. I would have done it last night, but...
Okay, more alcohol. Okay. Good. Thank you, Christina. Big round of applause.